To turn to the chair of the committee, who we're very honored to have with us, Senator Collins.
Thank you very much, Senator Capito. Doctor, let me start by welcoming you to the committee. I am well aware that you have devoted your life to medical research, to health economics, and that you care very deeply about NIH. That is why the administration's reduction of more than $19 billion to the agency's budget, that is approximately 40%, is so disturbing. It would undo years of congressional investment in NIH, and it would delay or stop effective treatments and cures from being developed for diseases like Alzheimer's, cancer, type 1 diabetes. I could go on and on. We also risk falling behind China and other countries that are increasing their investment in biomedical research. Let me give a specific example. There are an estimated 7 million Americans living with Alzheimer's today. Barring any major breakthrough to prevent, slow down, or cure this devastating disease, this number could almost double to claim the lives of more than 13 million Americans by the year 2060. And that's why this committee has been so dedicated to increasing the funding for biomedical research and for Alzheimer's in particular to more than $3 billion last year alone. And it's produced results. We've seen the first 2 drugs that have been shown when administered early enough to slow cognitive decline. We have also seen the development of a breakthrough blood test, which will help lead to earlier diagnosis. Yet the administration's budget proposes a decrease of 40% for the National Institute on Aging, which funds most Alzheimer's research. As a senator representing the oldest state in the nation, this is of particular concern to me. And like Senator Capito, I too lost my father to this devastating disease, as well as my grandfather, 2 uncles, and just last year, a brother-in-law. So I know personally what it means to so many American families. Why is the administration proposing to cut the funding for the National Institutes of Aging when we are making progress in treating Alzheimer's and other dementias?
Senator, thank you for the question. And so first, let me just say that I am fully committed to making progress, scientific progress on Alzheimer's. I know all too well from my own research work and from friends and family members the devastating toll of this disease. And we have made tremendous progress. The NIH supports a very wide range of hypotheses on Alzheimer's, and it's resulted in some advances, like, for instance, the blood test for early detection. We still don't have, I think, in my professional opinion, a sufficient way to manage the disease, to prevent the disease and to cure the disease. We need more advances. And so I'm absolutely committed to making sure the NIH plays a tremendous role in that. The president wrote a letter to Michael Kratsios, his science advisor, committing the committing the United States to be the leading nation in the world in biomedicine. And so that's the intention of this administration. The budget. I mean, this is my first time through this budget fight, and so I'm still learning. But I'll tell you, from what I understand is that the budget is a collaborative effort between Congress and the administration. And I look forward to working with you all to advance the needs, the real health needs of not just the folks here in the room who represent Alzheimer's patients, but also the health needs of all Americans. We have tremendous health needs that we have to address. It's only excellent research that's going to solve those problems.
We look forward to working with you to remedy these problems and the deficiencies in the budget. Prior to your confirmation, NIH abruptly and without any notice or input from the scientific community announced a 15% arbitrary cap on research-related costs, also called indirect costs, for institutions that receive grants from the NIH. This proposed cap is so poorly conceived, and I've seen firsthand how harmful it is. It is leading to scientists leaving the United States for opportunities in other countries. It's causing clinical trials to be halted and promising medical research to be abandoned. It's also against federal law. Since 2018, we in Congress have specifically included language to prevent NIH from arbitrarily imposing such a cap. During your confirmation hearing, you committed to working with us on this issue. So I was alarmed and surprised that the administration's budget request contains the same harmful 15% cap. Recently, I met with Dr. Calvin Drogenmeier, who was President Trump's science advisor during the first term. He has come up with two possible models, which are far fairer, make way more sense, increase accountability. Have you had the opportunity to meet with Dr. Drogenmeier and look at the models that he has come up with after extensive consultation?
So I spoke with Dr. Drogenmeier before he started the process, and he told me about those proposals, but in the planning stages. I have not yet met with him after because he had a working group that he put together of experts to think about this. I think that they're quite promising. The key thing, first I can't speak about the 15% because it's subject to litigation, so I'm not going to, I don't want to get into that. But I want to bring the broader policy issue, which is how should the federal government support the research institutions of this country where the research we've been talking about take place. I think it is an opportunity to rethink that. We absolutely have an obligation to make sure that the institutions have the capacity to do the research correctly. Are we doing it fairly? Do we have processes in place that you have the sufficient geographic representation, that scientists across the country, wherever they are, have access? I think we can do a lot better, and I'd love to work with Congress to make to address that. I think there's lots of great possibilities for reform.
Thank you. I encourage you to sit down with Dr. Drogenmeier as soon as you can. Thank you, Madam Chair.